All right, hello. Hello, we're here. I'm with Sos here. Narrowly. Thank you very much, traffic of LA, but we are here.
Yes.
What do we got today, Sos?
Oh man, we are here at DXN Outpost today, and we are doing a case tournament today, and we have a pretty interesting match here. One side a lot more interesting than the other.
Yeah, I barely see this matchup. Let's just jump over to it real quick, actually, just to show them what we're talking about.
Yeah, so we actually have Uta on the left-hand side, as well as Enel on the right.
Yeah. And yeah, we've seen, you know, obviously these like Enel is really good in OP05. Uta is probably like, you know, now like the film deck that we talk about right now too, but we don't really see them against each other very often, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think Uta is a rather unique deck right now. I think it saw a little bit more playability and popularity in the beginning of the meta, and now that the EBO1's kind of coming to a close, I feel like we see a big drop off of Uta players.
For sure. And I think like the other thing too is that it kind of went from like 4 life leaders being a detriment to 5 life leaders being a positive, if you know what I mean, right? Yeah. I think 4 life leaders are a little bit more common now, just because their power level is a little bit different. You know, Nell's a monocolor leader, but he is 4 due to his ability, making him a 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, yeah, just having a lot more life than 4 than what it looks like. But looks like we're going to be using our Genesis there, able to find a 2K off the top, and we're going to pass right after that.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine Enel being a base 5 life leader?
No, I couldn't, right? Like, we were talking, like, when it was announced, we're like, oh, is it really worth losing a life? And this is at a time where 4 life leaders weren't really popular either, right?
Sure.
And because of that, too, we do get to, you know, it's just changed so much. So we are attacking with our Uta. We're going to be able to use Uta's effect to get a card draw essentially, and then a Shirahoshi from Enel being able to draw 3 trash 2. One of our best early life hits.
Yeah, the Shirahoshi is super nice to see early in this game. Being able to kind of cycle out the cards you really don't need. And what's really interesting about Enel right now is that it's at a place where it receives a huge buff in OP07, but in EBO1 there's actually a lot of tools that you can really utilize. And something really popular that we've been seeing here is an aggressive version of Enel.
Yeah, with the big new ad being like the Rush Ace that we got from Star Deck 13, as well as just the 4-cost event that Enel can use to be able to play copies of the 7-cost Rush card. Yeah, you're really easy to be aggressive if you're not as afraid of losing immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is already a very interesting play here. Seeing the Cracker so early with only 3 life, I mean, it kind of makes Uta in a difficult position because we don't have, I mean, we have a couple 3-cost blockers, but for the most part, we might have to counter out of this Cracker swing or just take it, dropping down to 2 life. We're going to go ahead and see what happens here.
Yeah, that Charlotte Cracker, I've been seeing it in Enel more and more often. You're almost always behind on life, and if your opponent is being like too defensive early game, you're really able to punish them off of it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's a really aggressive card, and it definitely has been seeing a lot of play. I definitely agree. And now we see the 3-cost Mihawk dropping the 4-cost Brook and then playing the Nami, using the ability here to search top 3 for a film or Straw Hat card. Insane turn.
Yeah.
3 bodies for 3 Dawn.
Yeah, that's the, I mean, as soon as Mihawk was announced, this was like the combo people were talking about. It still sees play now, right? I think against stuff like Sakazuki that sometimes it's enough cards on board that they can't clear your board every turn as long as you do it on curve. So it's a really good thing. And also, if you want to beat it now, the way you do it is go wide, in my experience.
Right, yeah, definitely. It's really interesting seeing Enel at 2. I'm not sure exactly if we're going to see Uta kind of breaking through to going down to 1 life, just because for the most part the game plan is you kind of don't touch Enel's life as soon as they're at 2. Once they're at 2, you kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit.
Yeah, and it's just because like it means that like Yamato gets an extra card draw technically, right? And there's just benefits they get for being at 1. Also means that the cost for some of the new event cards that we get are essentially, you know, no additional cost, which is strong. So
right. Yeah, it's really interesting too that Uta has the option to play cards like ACOS Kit. ACOS Kit can be a really big deal for Enel, but at the same time we also have cards like ACOS Katakuri.
Yeah, that gets rid of it. Was Raigo or Kingdom Come too? Those are very strong ones.
Yeah, definitely a couple of different options to kind of remove that off board. But it looks like we are going to go ahead and swing 8k possibly with this Cracker. It does get a 1k boost because he is at only 2 life. A little less than Uta here.
Yeah, I agree. Also, we are doing the noise. There is a fan in this room. We might have to turn that off in between rounds, unfortunately. Here, is there an easy way to turn it off? All right. Fan is off. If the noise goes down, that's why. If we're sweaty in between rounds, that is also why. I can only train so much in the wasteland of Arizona. The heat still affects me in some regard.
I thought you had a shield.
Yeah. No, I've lost my 24-hour Arizona buff already, gotcha. So it already fell off, unfortunately.
So it looks like we're swinging 8k, and it looks like we're kind of deciding if we want to counter out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like we're going to go ahead and do so.
Oh no, that was last. Yeah. Which is fine. And so that Charlotte Cracker is still a 6k because it's one of the few like Dawn ×1 effects that affect both players' turns. So since it's 4 life to 2 right now in favor of the Uta, it is a 6k, which is a little obnoxious, but Uta also loves attaching a Dawn underneath its leader.
Yeah, this is really interesting too because usually at 7 Dawn for Uta, you kind of want to play that Luffy down.
Mm-hmm.
If we put that Luffy down, that means that Cracker's living.
Yeah, 100%. And then it can pressure again. I believe Enel's going to 8 Dawn next turn, so being able to put the Luffy to the bottom of your life on curve like that is pretty strong. Yeah. And it looks like we're just deciding which of these 3 cards we really want from the top of our deck.
Yeah.
Let's see. And it was the fan. All right. We'll do it for y'all.
Of course, always. So with still 7 active Dawn here, we might see. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean this is a really interesting space because you want to get rid of the Cracker.
You do,
but
yeah.
At the same time, if we set up a blocker, a 7k blocker is no joke.
Correct. And also, so we do have like the fancy card holders too. Yes. So in case you guys are wondering where the cards are, they're right next to the mats there. And but only unfortunate thing is sometimes it's difficult to know for us how many cards are in hand. But
yeah,
I think Monkey, our now player, is probably has what 7, 8 cards in hand.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, 7 or 8 cards, and it looks like Uta has kind of similar, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both these leaders technically, like Uta just naturally draws a lot with its leader effect. Enel just takes life early, so it gets to a rather good hand size because of that. And it looks like we're just doing a quick 1k Onami out of the leader swing, and then we are going to play the 7 cost Luffy.
Yeah, and this is really interesting too because the Monkey deciding not to go down to 1 life, countering out of that with the Nami is really interesting here. Usually you'd want to go down to 1 life, but I guess maybe Monkey realizing if he applies just too much pressure, I can't handle it.
Yeah, and I don't know, yeah, as you mentioned, yeah, it is tempting to go down to that 1 life, but then they get to pressure you from there afterwards. Let's see, and then we're
gonna go ahead and drop the 8 cost Katakuri to put that Shirahoshi back in the life, and choosing not to swing with the Cracker just because it is only a 5k character with no Dawn attached to it, and we have that glaring 7k body blocker.
Yeah, and so it's a little interesting to see, like, Katakuri is one of the more flexible cards in this game too, right? Being able to either help your own life or get some like tempo removal, right? And we could have gotten rid of the Luffy if we really wanted to, but I think the Shirahoshi in life means that, one, this is more defensive, but also Monkey's just not seeing the cards they want, right? I think that's more of the bigger symptom.
So swinging here 6k, using that Uta ability, grabbing that Nami for free, and we do see the trigger, of course. We're going to go ahead and draw 3 trash 2. Being able to cycle our hand is so good for Enel. And we're still at 2 life.
Yeah. All right, and so we get rid of 1 Shirahoshi and considering the second.
Now I gotta ask, do you think this matchup is favored Enel or favored Uta? What do you think?
It's a little bit tricky, right? without Howard knowing and looking at the numbers, also we did just play a kid, but we don't use the effect, which I think is probably the smartest way to do it. Right. But I truly think it's back and forth. I think both decks have answers to it, right? Even like, you know, the Enel's big thing, you have to do 3 hits on your winning turn. Your Uta leader being able to swing more than once with I'm Invincible gets around that very easily as well. So like Boost This Kid is a really big defensive tool, but it can get removed by Katakuri, but sometimes you don't have time to play the Katakuri. So I'd say it's generally pretty neutral, but I'm ready for people to tell me that I'm immediately wrong on that.
Yeah, I think not swinging with the Katakuri is really good too. And then, I'm sorry, with the kid, not using its ability. But what's really interesting too is that I imagine this Uta player is now thinking to himself, well, you already played an ACOS Katakuri. What are the chances you have another?
Yeah, and since we've already resolved 2 copies of Shirahoshi, and I would imagine that's the card we look at more, I'd say pretty likely. We're also just putting 2 Dawn underneath our Charlotte Cracker again, so it's 8K, and it is double, so we are going to be taking it. Going down to 1 for Josie. Yeah,
very interesting too. Swinging 5K into life. He might be baiting this block here with the Luffy here. If he blocks with the Luffy, he can kind of just dump a whole bunch of Dawn onto the Kata if he really wants to. But
we're going all the way down.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we're just trying to put as much faith into this kid right now.
Yeah, but that's so risky because we haven't, you know, there's still 8 Dawn available, right? So if we have if we're playing 8-drop Katakuri, yeah, there it is again. Oh man, so I mean, unless Josie has like a second one, we're in trouble.
Yeah, this is quite scary, honestly. So going to 10 Dawn, and looks like because we have the 4/6 vanilla, and of course the Luffy. We can swing pretty big here. Maybe he's also trying to bank on the fact that we have I Am Invincible to our.
Yeah, it's 2 life to 1 though, and what? Not a lot of people play 10-drop Dofi anymore, but if we did, it'd be like a okay spot here. Monkey, our Enel player, knows that it's going to be pretty safe to attack into life because they're not going to get any more counter power out of it. This is a really good spot for Monkey.
Yeah, this is super interesting. I definitely would have given it to the advantage here for Uta. There's just so many different tools, drawing an extra card every single turn. You know, it's so powerful. Yeah,
and I don't know, like I've played this matchup some, and if they have the Katakuri, it's great, and if they don't have the Katakuri, it's awful at times because it like that uses kid just surviving a turn just gives them so much advantage. Like just the fact that it's a 9K attack, you know, if you put the Dawn underneath it is very big. So
yeah, it's something different too compared to the Starter Deck Kid deck is that with Uta, if the kid survives, the Ecos Kid, you're just drawing a whole bunch of cards.
Yes.
For free, you know.
Oh, and then we miss one of the few misses in this deck. There's a Mihawk on the top of deck, so we don't get there. We did a simple 6K attack in. They're going to be taking it.
Now, I imagine we might see another kid coming down.
Yeah, we do have the Dawn for it. We are taking the 2K out.
Yeah, I think what the play is here is that we might see the ACOS kid coming out. We might play the Uta. Using Uta ability, we might have to restand that Luffy just for the extra protection. We're standing down two ACOS Katakuris. That's a lot of power.
Yeah, so I like this Luffy attack though, because it does kind of represent. Okay, yeah, it looks like we do. Okay, as you said, another 8-drop kid. We're able to use its effect to play hopefully a Star Deck Uta as well. We do. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to be able to use its effect to get another blocker as well.
Yeah. It's pretty good here. And it looks like we are going to use the Uta ability as well to discard New Genesis from our hand to restand the 7-class blocker Luffy.
Yeah, and this card always what makes me like, oh, I never want to play my Neon Genesis because it's just like, what if I need a restand, right? Like this 2K is great, but then late game is like, man, I have so many events in my hand. This is awful.
Yeah, this is a really interesting position that Monkey's in right now.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see possibly another ACOS kit only attaching 2 Dawn here to the Katakuri?
Yeah, it's what, big 10k, so what I would be, we're at 1 life apiece, so that means that Yamato, I mean we're not playing Yamato anyways, but Yamato wouldn't be able to get rid of it. 2k 1k to get out. Oh, this is feeling kind of good now.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good here. We pitched 2. Are we gonna pitch another 2, or are we gonna just let that 3 cost Uta die here?
And additionally, yeah, I use this. I'd be worried like Amaru might be in play, right? Oh, but we do have the Kingdom Come.
Ooh. Now you did mention that card earlier on, and you said that was a possibility to remove an ACOS kit, and this is really big. We don't have to give Uta another life, as well as if they want to find another kit, they have to. There's no way to actually search for it, so they have to naturally draw it. And with Uta, that's really hard.
that is really tough. Yeah, most of your cards just find a specific card, and you do not get that, unfortunately. So.
Yeah. So we are going to see a 6k swing going into life with that 4/6 vanilla Zoro, and with 1 life, I guess it could get kind of scary just because if we threaten the. I mean, we could be baiting him for the I'm Invincible as well.
Yeah. And also, so Monkey made the decision to not swing into life, which I think was right, because it would have given them 1 for free. Because we do, yeah, have a good amount of attacks. I don't know. Two uses kit is usually like the luck curve that I'm at, like. Oh, but I am clearly just a bad Uta player.
This is the 3rd 8-cost kit that we've seen this game.
Yeah.
And we're using its ability here. Do we have another blocker? I think anything really would be useful. The brand new 2-cost blocker that we got, as well as, of course, another Uta. But looks like we might pass.
Yeah, it looks like no blocker. It looks like Josie has... Oh, we're considering.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the 3-cost Nami.
Yeah, it is for sure.
And open knowledge, he knows that he has it in his hand.
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So dropping that Nami and just passing the turn. Now we only have 1 blocker, and we are still staring down 2 8-cost Katakuris. Now I'm not too sure exactly how big Monkey's hand currently is.
Yeah.
We did pitch 2 cards last turn, but for the most part, that's really it.
I don't think it's much more than 5, so
yeah,
just based on what it looks like. And I think that's about 5 apiece. Maybe Josie has like 6 or 7, but it's going to be pretty costly, I think, to defend this Eustace kid.
Yeah, he might have to, even if he swings 10k twice, that's still just a lot of cards out of your hand.
Yeah.
And when we still have to, when we have to start letting go of our 7-cost Luffys for this exchange, it gets pretty rough. So it looks like Monkey here debating really what the move is here. He might swing 8k with that Katakuri, going straight 8 to 8. Now, Uta doesn't look like he has too many cards in hand. Maybe 6 cards in hand, 5 cards in hand.
Yeah, not a lot. And we're just doing, penny swings here. 9k to 8, 2k straight out. We have, again, like 4 cards in hand. I think we know that there's a chopper in hand, too. But what are we going to be doing for 9 to... Are we just going to play Yamato to heal up?
Yeah, I think we might end up just playing the Yamato here. We are at 9 done, yes. Yamato coming down. Unfortunately, we don't get to remove anything on the board, but setting up another huge body is very good for us. Now, the only good thing here that the Uta player has is that we have 2 ways to search for 2 free cards. We have the Nami as well as our leader. That's going to go ahead and generate us 2 cards. It can be counter, blockers, really anything we really need.
Yeah, the bigger worry, I would say, is that it is going to be, Monkey's just saying, you know what, I'm an Enel player. My life is above average. But we're going for the long game.
Interesting.
I don't know if I'd take this route. I think I'd take that as a go-ahead to just try to go for game, to be honest.
Now, it looked like Monkey did say to his opponent here that he only has 5 cards in hand.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're going to go ahead and defend that 8-cost Katakuri.
I don't know. So now we're, what, down to 3?
3 cards in hand, yeah.
All right, going to try draw a card. Obviously, Uta would be very strong, right? It let us be able to attack with our Luffy and then restand it as well.
Yeah, honestly, any blocker right now would be fantastic. Even if it was a second Luffy, wouldn't be too bad. The only downside of that is that we'd only be swinging 5k with lead and not generating a free card off of that leader ability.
All right, and we're thinking about it. I think I see an I'm Invincible, Genesis, maybe a Chopper 2K. That might just be what was in the trash, but all right, you are going to get the I'm Invincible. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, it's such a great way to close out games. I feel like everyone assumes you have it, which is powerful enough.
Yeah, but worse is when you know they have it.
That is true.
All right. Well, we have 7 Dawn left. I mean, you could play another Luffy. We can... I don't know. Do you really want to even pressure the Katakuri 8 cost? You could put like 3 or 4 Dawn on your Uta, get a card draw, but again, we have... I think Josie has like 6 cards in hand, and one of them doesn't have any counter outright because it's the I'm Invincible. So I respect the think.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. This is a very big turn here for Hosey for sure. This is really huge. I mean, depending on if he wants to apply more pressure to kind of clear these characters, with only 3 cards in his hand, Monkey's hand here, it looks like we are going to go ahead and counter that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. The Nami swing was like 2 minutes ago. I forgot that we are still resolving that one.
Monkey's on the big thing turn.
They are. I mean, you've got what looks like 2 cards in hand, too.
Yeah. It looks like we're trying to clear the ACOS characters.
Yeah. Top card. Yep. All right. Another Zoro. So another 1K.
Now, if we've committed this far, are we just going to go ahead and just do it? Yeah.
Yeah. Quick 2K out. So what? 1 or 2 cards left in hand for Monkey?
I believe only 1 card in hand.
Yeah. So I mean, you kind of feel inclined. You know, this is the same as.
Oh, so it's 1 more actually.
Okay. And we're stealing 2Ks.
It's a buy one get one free sale right now for 2Ks.
Yeah. Okay. Do we put 2 under Zoro then?
I think what Uta wants to do is he actually wants to play possibly a 3-cost blocker Uta.
Yeah. All right. We're hitting them down to 1, which if they have Yamato just means they get a free card draw.
Yeah.
But it looks like I'm guessing we have what, another Uta blocker. Okay, we're discarding the I'm Invincible, so we've got a good amount of blockers in hand. But I think we have what, maybe 5 or 6 in hand for
5.
Josie.
Yeah, pitching the I'm Invincible is something you obviously don't want to do in this late of game. But
No.
So you have 3 kids. I have a ton of more removal for you.
Yeah, that is nasty. So like the only thing to like really consider on this is, for the record too, since they went down to 1, Raigo doesn't have an additional cost, which is rough, but yeah, so we have 4 Dawn open. We can still reject. We can still Amaru. If we had either of those, I think we would have done it immediately. But
why did I forget reject is still a thing?
Yeah. Raigo, our Kingdom Come reject, is fantastic.
Yeah. So many tools that Enel currently has in this game. It's insane.
All right. Yep. Get the easy block out of the way. Another 8K. Yeah, this is.
And we know we've got to burn through 2Ks.
Yeah.
You know, for the Uta player here, we've definitely burned a lot of 2Ks. So pitching 2 here would be a lot.
Yeah, and now we have 2 9K attacks coming in, at least.
I think Monkey might have this.
Yeah, because even so, like, it's going to be pretty unlikely for Josie to get it on the back end here too, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like, even coming back from this is going to be so hard, like you're mentioning.
No, it is
cost.
possible, but not likely at this point.
Now, it's only possible because of cards like I Am Invincible, which we did just end up pitching.
Yeah. So you got 4 Dawn left. At this point, attacking into anything, if you're able to attack and get rid of the Nami, you could have also attacked and get rid of, win the game, right? So I would defend it the same way. And yeah. unless you want to like Amaru and do 2 5k attacks instead, but I think just a 10.
Yeah, to me, I'm swinging 9. I'm going all in here. I feel like even if he has to lose 3 cards out of his hand, he drops down to 2.
Yeah, there it is.
9k swing. Does it connect here?
2k. Oh, that's
3.
it. That's it.
Monkey takes game 1 or round 1.
Yeah. We'll see if Monkey... Okay, yeah, because we knew one card with Eustace Kid. The other one was there, too. So they saw, what, all 4 copies of the card?
Yeah.
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 And I think in general, I think we needed to go for game, that last one. I don't know. Yeah, because it's tricky, because if you're not able to... Like, your Eustace Kids feel so safe, but now that Yellow has access to actual removal cards, it is a whole different ball game, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we played 2 Kingdom Comes plus 2 Katakuri's.
Yeah.
I mean, we had enough removal for that character there.
Yeah. So, when we looked at like OP03, right, like when there was just Katakuri, right, sure, they play 10-drop Big Mom, but if they can't get rid of the blocker protecting my Eustace Kid, they can't do nothing either, right? Okay. So, but yeah, we do have, how many people today? 55?
55 players today.
55 players. So, 5 or 6 rounds, right? Is there a hard limit for...
Not too sure.
Okay, we can check in between.
We'll figure that out.
But yeah, we do have quite a full house of not only players but like known players, right? A lot of serial card owners here, and obviously we do have our big regional here in LA on Saturday and Sunday, 10-24 cap for that one. You're playing that one too, right?
I am playing in this weekend's event. Actually, I'm very excited.
Yeah. What's your spice for this week, if I'm allowed to ask?
Look, last time I was in LA. And I took a green deck. I got top 16 twice, back to back.
Back to back, correct.
I was the only one in the top 16.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make magic happen again.
Oh, okay.
So Uta.
Okay, I was going to say Uta's the one that I would say it tops, right? Yeah. It's one big flagship in Japan in the same meta, right? It didn't win this game, but don't let that detract you. All right, no. All right. But
yeah, 2 Kingdom Comes and 2 Katakuri's is pretty good.
Yeah. I would be with you. And would you have gone for game that last part? Yes. Okay. Yes. I think that's fair. I think that's fair too. Especially they got rewarded with at least 1 copy of I'm Invincible going for it. So I think that would have been a difference. So. But yeah, we have that game took a little bit longer, I feel like, right? Yeah. We're 30 minutes into this broadcast and we went pretty quickly with it. So I think we're going to have probably a smaller break. I wouldn't expect more than like 5 or 10. So I ran in here, I threw all my technology onto a table, and then I hit live. So I definitely need a minute. I know it's just the first round, but we're going to get into round 2 and probably, I'm going to say 5-10.
Yeah.
We might come back early, and then we'll also have we'll just see what's on the other side. So if there's any leaders you guys want to see, let us know. We're not, the stream table is not table 1, right? It's whoever you're bringing over. Right. So if you guys want any players or anything like that, we'll do that as well. And we'll be back in like 5-10 minutes. Be right back. All right, we're back. A minute early, right?
Yeah.
Like, as soon as we went to break, they paired round 2. So we're going to get that to you guys real quick. Also, I should be a little bit quieter. So should be a little bit more heard.
Gotcha.
Can you try talking real quick?
Testing, 1, 2.
All right, that sounds good. Oh, we have to turn the fan off because
Yes. Yes.
we love you all and we hate ourselves.
Of course.
And that is okay. But we're going to go over to our next round real quick. It's going to be... It's going to be Thomas on the left-hand side playing RP Law, as well as a Fang on the right with Sakazuki. Yes, and Thomas is generally a fast player, so we'll let us see if he lets us actually commentate this match.
Oh, both of these players are like hyper speed players, so we're going to probably get through this pretty quickly. I think already this is a pretty quick match. Anything with RP Law.
Yes,
fast match.
Sure. Yeah, we might bully them into doing it best. Like, it'll be best of 1 for the tournament, right? But
sure.
Maybe give us a 2 out of 3 just for y'all as well. So let's see. Yeah, quick playing the Shariah, one of the increasingly annoying cards for the deck in my experience.
Yeah, it's really interesting too because I'm not sure who won the die roll here, but Thomas did end up going first. Now, going first gives you that option of being just super aggressive, just how RP Law loves to do. At the same time, we're unable to play our 4-cost bodies turn 2. Mm-hmm. That's really huge.
Yeah, all right. So we are, okay, just, we're, sure.
Yeah,
so cost 1, we're going to Hound Blaze. I would say Shariah is annoying into every other matchup besides this one. Sakazuki can just get rid of it so easily, especially since we're on the Navy HQ build, which means that we're able to Hound Blaze without even attacking with our leader first.
Right, yeah. Just having access to the stage in this matchup makes all of your opponent's characters 3 costs.
Yeah.
Characters, the leader swings now become a 2 cost. Mm-hmm. Now all of your event cards are just now live.
Yep. For sure. It's pretty nasty. And we see Thomas taking a second here. We're at, what, 5 Dawn?
Yes, 5 Dawn right now for RP Law. Now, this is a bit of a interesting turn just because we can play our 5-cost blockers. Cards like 5-cost Kid as well as like 5-cost Queen. Unfortunately, we're unable to remove anything, which we don't really need to worry about anyways because Sakazuki has nothing on the board.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's the 5-drop Eustace Kid. So, at least the big thing is that they didn't play any, brand news or Tashigis, but at least you'll be able to get this here. And this is great because we went -3 and then we got 2 Dawn back, both active with the new Bon Clay, and did a big 7 into their life.
Yeah. Dropping down to 3 life already?
3 apiece, I believe, yeah.
3 life already, and setting up 2 bodies. Now, unfortunately, with the Bon Clay, it doesn't see too much activity until we see maybe like the 8-cost Gecko Moria. So the 5k swing does get blocked here by that kid, and then now we're going to use that Navy HQ, dropping down that Bon Clay into a 2-cost character. We might see a Rob Lucci.
Yeah, right, because we have just weird numbers. If we had like a little bit more Dawn for us, we could like do like a Tashigi and Ama, or Tashigi and Rablucci, but since we do not have that right now, we're going to look at top 3, and it looks like we're going to get the 2k and discard the other 2.
Now, something pretty interesting here. I know that Fang is actually on the brand new...
okay.
We're going to see the Ama here, the sword.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what I was going to say earlier is that I know that Fang is on the 3-cost Brook in this deck, which is a great addition. I think that card is really amazing with Sakazuki. Being able to, just another way for some sort of removal every single turn, plus you -1 cost. Man.
Yeah, it's pretty rough if you're able to, like with the Navy HQ, it makes a lot of sense, right? It's also a 3-drop black card, which means Rebecca can get it back and play it, which is kind of nice. And it's only a 4K. It's not amazing, right? But there are a lot of mini situations. And I also want to say, Fong, if I saw my opponent play the HQ, I would be, okay, they're not playing Ice Age. I'm probably fine, right? And so to see that come immediately afterwards is pretty rough. But Thomas has his own combos. We got another Eustace Kid, and also a Vinsmoke Reiju,
yeah.
which will let us draw an additional 2 cards, which is quite nice. Yeah. And kind of even that out, as well as get rid of the brand new for quote-unquote free.
Yeah, seeing Reiju in this deck is such a nice buff that the deck did get. It really helped out the consistency of it. Unfortunately, you just have to hopefully you draw it. No other way to draw into it other than just
naturally drawing into it. So
yeah, and that's kind of like a bit of the issue with Red Purple Law is that the only way to draw your card draw is to draw it. So if you don't get to draw cards, you don't get to see the cards that draw cards.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is I mean, honestly, Thomas is in a pretty great position here with RP Law still on the seeing the kit on the board is really good here.
Yeah, seeing two of them is pretty fantastic. That helps out a lot. It's a little bit of awkward numbers, right? Because with leader effect and with the HQ, you're not able to Hound Blaze it away. But it looks like we're just going to start with a quick 6K at the leader, and I think Thomas, is going to be able to take that pretty quickly. All right, and then we're going to use the Hina, and I think it's the same play I was thinking last turn. Yeah, the Rob Lucci, Hina. Yeah, those in a 5 and 4.
Yeah.
You get rid of those pretty quickly with these numbers.
I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone right now, just seeing two characters being bottom decked, turn back to back. We're just doing Sakazuki things now.
Yeah, it's so when they're able to get there, it's great. Honestly, the big thing I've noticed too is that just playing Hina for 3 has gotten way more powerful lately.
Oh, yeah.
Like, used to be kind of like a bit of a cheese play, or like only good if you play it off Rebecca.
Right.
Now you can just play it for 3, and you still get that such momentum. It's tough to counteract that.
Yeah, I mean, even if you think about it, in addition to the 3-cost Brook, having access to that removal plus Brook, it's 2 bodies plus you remove something, so good.
Yeah. And this is kind of also like the scenario why like Bond Clay is not as good in this deck, because we only see like 5 and 6K bodies for most of the game until Moria hits, right? So you wouldn't get much advantage from there, and Thomas is already down at 2 life, behind on board, and we only have like card draw in our favor right now.
Yeah, and it looks like, I mean, yeah, we have quite a few cards in our hand, but unfortunately, no bodies on the board. So 7K swing going into life, and we are going to go ahead and counter out of that with that T-Bone and Sabo. 2 cards very easy for us to get back, and now we see the Gordon play.
Yeah, so we're going to be able to get rid of the Rob Lucci, which is quite good. Also, being able to bomb deck it is nice because it does remove it from like a Gecko Moria or any other plays. We're going to play the 2 blockers out, but they are probably not going to be here for long.
Yeah, this is honestly, those 2 options being played is probably the worst case scenario, I feel like. So many more other bodies we'd rather see. Maybe a card like Ain or really anything.
Yeah.
I mean, because we did mention earlier that Shariah doesn't really give us any value in this matchup.
No, because it is nice against a lot of other decks in the field, but being able to just be leader stage effect into Hound Blaze to get removal without even getting a block is rough.
Yeah, so it looks like we are going to go ahead and play that Gecko Moria, bringing back Rebecca to play the Tashigi. And we do have a bit of... Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and search with the Tashigi first, searching top 5 for that Navy card. What do we see? We have a couple options, of course. Sakazuki having a plethora of options to pick from. I mean, hey, why not have 2 searchers in a deck for the same archetype?
Yeah, so you love consistency, right? And that's why I am consistently losing this deck.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Speaking of double searcher.
Yeah, why not? So Rebecca added something. I missed exactly what it was, but then it can play anything with 3 costs or less. So if you happen to have an extra brand new in hand, why not? So our Moria was able to play a blocker, play out 2 searchers, so it drew us 2 cards that we were able to search and find. And now we have this Hound Blaze very quickly putting pressure with this 5K Tashigi attack.
I am still curious why they did ban this leader.
Really? Reject, sure. Great Eruption, why not? Sakazuki, whoa, pump the blade.
Wait, hold on. Every turn cycle?
It's also... I mean, we have not seen a Radas for this card game because they immediately said, oh, here's a different leader. It's fine. It's pretty similar, right? And you're like... They're both named Sakazuki, I suppose, but... I appreciate them having another leader out for at least the half, like the blue Navy engines that we see, but man, it is yeah, that leader is strictly worse.
Yeah, definitely. But it looks like Thomas here in a bit of an issue here. He did just counter 2K off of that 5K swing. And now we see another 5K swing. And it looks like Thomas doesn't really want to go further down than 2 life, but he does end up doing so, going down to 1.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he had much of a choice. So Thomas is at 1, Fang is at 2. I believe Fang has about 3 cards in life, and we do have the Rebecca blocker, which is pretty easy to remove. I mean, if we have like Kid and Killer leader effect into another Kid and Killer, we're in a good spot. But looks like we're going to Rage You. We're at 2 cards in hand, so now we're doubling up to 4. We might have been at 3 cards in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the very interesting about RP Law is that every single time I look at this deck and I look at the board state and I say, man, this deck is so far behind.
Mm-hmm.
But the great thing about RP Law is the amount of rushers and the inclusion of, obviously, Killer Kid.
Mm-hmm.
The comeback mechanic in this deck is actually pretty incredible. And with a deck like Sakazuki always having very little to no counter in hand, it's a big deal.
It's a really, really big deal. So we've got these decision fingers coming out from Thomas where he's just like, well, is it even worth it to go down -3 here? Like, sure, we get guaranteed removal of the Rebecca, but that's, I don't know. Like, it depends if there's another Rebecca in there. Oh, okay. We're going to get rid of the Hina instead.
Yeah, this is an interesting play sitting at only 1 life. And, I mean, it looks like Fang is at 3 cards possibly in hand.
Oh, so we're just going to make it cost 2K, and then we're going to attack into it. All right, sure. And then we're going to... Okay, so we got rid of both. That's
like
fine. Kid and Killer hits the board.
Right.
We can do a big 7, probably hit them down to 1 consistently, but it's going to be tough to not lose here.
Yeah, it's going to be quite tough. We have 1 blocker up, but like we mentioned time and time again, so many ways for Fang to remove this 4-cost blocker.
Yeah. Also, yeah, we have 5 or 6 rounds today. We had 55 people sign up, and there will not be top cut. Top 8 gets to split the box, if I remember correctly.
The case, yes.
They're the case, yes, yeah, not a box. Yeah. The case, a little bit different there.
Yeah. Along with a very nice Dim-Mac one-piece collab skate deck.
Yes. Is
For
all of
first.
top 8 getting
No,
that?
for first.
Okay,
For
okay,
first.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
I'm like, dang. What am I doing here?
Yeah.
I'm on the wrong side of this camera.
Right, so it looks like Fang just here kind of deciding what the play is.
Yeah, and, it's very tempting. Like, they attacked 9K, just get that immediate block, right? But... I don't know. I think we see, 5 cards in Fang's hand. They can block her up pretty quickly next turn because Thomas is going down to 4 Dawn. Since all the useless kids and everything got force removed. And, yeah, it's very tough for Thomas here.
And more importantly, they can Gecko up here.
They can Gecko again, right?
They can Gecko, yeah. Yeah.
We know that there's at least, 2 Rebeccas in there because we bottom deck the Hina. All right, we're just going to take it. 5 in hand. Looking at cards in the trash again for 2Ks.
So what's stopping us here from playing Ice Age? Okay, Eruption on the blocker, and then Hound Blazing for game.
Nothing theoretically, right?
Right.
But I would also say that if we had that, we'd start with it, right? Oh, we're finding our 5th copy of Hound Blaze in our deck box. No, just kidding.
It looks like it was a missing Dawn.
Yeah.
It's only 11 Dawn. So it looks like here we are going to play the brand new here, searching top 3, and we find the Hound Blaze. Is this game right here? We're going to Hound Blaze this away?
Probably, right?
Yeah. This is
so we spent... Yeah,
he takes it. Yeah,
Fang takes it.
Sakazuki, pretty good.
Pretty good. I mean, if we're able to, I say like the Ice Age Ama and then Hina Rablucci, that's pretty disgusting, right?
Sure.
Like that's pretty gross.
Sure.
Against a deck that's supposed to be the tempo deck to out tempo them and remove their stuff. It's pretty gross.
Yeah, and honestly, a lot of people tell me that RP Law destroys this matchup, and seeing a match like this Kind of not sure why they say that.
Yeah, Sakazuki always finds a way. They can always find a way.
Right.
But do you want to see real quick if they want to do just a for fun's game to run down the clock, where they can go super fast instead of just mildly fast? Also, maybe here, put those dice on the table for them to use too. Cool. Yeah, I think they're gonna do another one. Yeah. All right. So they did agree, which is great for us and for you guys. And I don't know. I'm always like one of the more casual people at my locals, but I will always be like, all right, we got 10 minutes left. Let's play another one. Like it's we're here to practice. We're here to play. And sometimes I go to like these locals and people are like, no, I won. It's done. Like, but I don't know. I always find like I get more knowledge from my losses than knowledge from my wins.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I feel like just having more practice is always better, but sometimes you do get kind of a little bit of the salt in there.
Yeah, I get the salt, or even again, like it's late. It's PST time. It's 8 p.m. So shouts to 11 p.m. East Coasters who are, likely a good amount of you guys are traveling to California for the event this weekend, right? If you guys are traveling tomorrow, let us know in chat so we can let us know, give you some good travel wishes, because I've been getting the bad luck of that stick.
Just dodge the LA traffic. It's easy.
That's man.
It's easy.
Literally every step of the way. I can't imagine it. It's so rough. And at least flying East Coast to West Coast, you leave at 8 a.m. and you show up like around noon. Sure, it's like 4 p.m. for you internally, but you still have like some day left. Right. Meanwhile, I'll leave at like 6 a.m. East Coast or West Coast time. I show up at like 7 p.m. Day's gone.
Yeah.
And I got to be like, all right, cool. You got to get up in 6 hours for the event. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's awful. All right. So again, this is a best of one tournament, but we do have some extra time. So shoutouts to Thomas and Fang for giving us an extra game here. And Thomas is deciding to go second, which I think shows that we Fang probably won the dice roll from that previous one. Yeah,
definitely. This is, like I was mentioning in the beginning of the game one here, is that I believe RP Law always wants to go second. Just having that 4 Dawn, I feel like it's huge. Now I do, like I said before, also is that there's an argument to be made. Going first is always the aggressive play. So
yeah, and this is a DXN Outpost.
Yes,
Outpost. Yeah, here in
Arcadia, California.
Yeah, which is east of LA. A couple miles or an hour, however you want to measure time.
Depends what time you leave.
That's true.
Depends.
That's true.
It depends. Yeah, but yeah, this is it's a pretty very chill spot, I would say myself. It's very unique, I feel like, than other shops.
Yeah,
but,
and they have so much. I say slot cars. There's probably a better word for it, but they have all these racetrack car, like that's just. Yeah. If I lived here, which I'm starting to live here next month, I could see myself get very invested into that. Yeah,
it's Tamiya's, and it's like a really great way. There's a whole track here, and the community is really big. It's like one of the only stores in the U.S. that actually are sponsored by Tamiya. That run. Yeah, it's actually a really big deal.
Yeah.
So
I'll definitely have to come out for one of those days, because I know that I would just be in awe with how involved a lot of this is.
Yeah, so much chaos. It's like so many different races, leagues, Grand Prix, and all that good stuff. So
yeah. All right. Well, we survived into the first couple turns. Thomas was able to. He went down to 0 Dawn to play the Zoro, and Sashi Penguin to go back up. It doesn't matter. We've got Ama.
Yeah.
And we also we didn't attack with the Zoro either, if I saw that correctly.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't attack with the Zoro. Very interesting decision coming from RP Law. And I'm not sure if you caught it, but Fang played 2 stages to use its ability.
I did not see that, but I do see the Queen, which does let us at least draw and cycle out a Probable Gordon or Raise Max if we have one too many copies of that card in our hand.
I think right now a really big issue with RP Law that it currently has is that every single card in this deck is so useful.
Yeah.
So when you have to discard a card, it's such a big deal. Even discarding a card like Zoro off of the Queen, that could be an out for you to win this match.
Yeah. Also, I do want to clarify, you can do that. You can play more than one copy of a stage in a turn.
Yeah.
I think other card games, I'm going to say Pokemon, I could be wrong. I think Pokemon won't let you do that. I know Yu-Gi-Oh! There are so many formats where you just cycle through your field cards quickly, but so yeah, I think Pokemon you can only play one stadium a turn, but you can play as many stages as you want in this game.
Yeah, it's really the reason why I mentioned it earlier is because when you play the stage, you -1 cost on a character. You tap the stage, that same turn you -1. Essentially, it's a Great Eruption without the draw. If you play 2 for 2 Dawn, you -4 cost. So it looks like we are going to go ahead and Hound Blaze that character. I don't think a character stayed longer than a turn here.
For this match or the previous one, correct. correct. And you know there is like the ask of like one Fang has seen stage early game both turns, which again gets so much value. If you see stage late game, it doesn't really do anything, but if it's something that you can do every turn for the rest of the game, yeah, it's very, very good for you.
Yeah. And it looks like we are swinging 6K into life here. Facing an empty board on Thomas's side, and that's really huge.
Going down to 1.
Yeah.
That is a little bit intimidating, but we do have, I believe, 6 Dawn for Thomas. So if we have something like 5-drop Kid and 5-drop Kid, we're able to bottom deck the Tashigi perhaps, or we can get rid of the brand new and attack into the Tashigi. Yeah.
Yeah. We might just swing. Ooh. So this is pretty nice. Unfortunately, it's a 7K swing, and now that Killer Kid is now a 7K.
Okay, yeah. And so we did 2 7s. We got out of the first. We took the first, but we got rid of the second one, which I guess that's fine, right? Because if we went to 2 life with the 7K attack with leader, which means that our Kid and Killer became a 7K, but we're probably fine.
Really interesting here. Fang actually cycling out the Gecko Moria. That kind of just tells me he has another one, grabbing the Great Eruption, and I believe he's at 8 active Dawn now.
Yeah.
Tapping 1 for another Eruption, targeting that 5-cost Kid, which essentially is a 2 cost with that stage now.
Yeah. Yeah, that is going to be true there. So if we have another Hound Blaze, I think we cycled 1 at the beginning of the game, and we've used a second copy, so 2 more copies are floating around right now. Both these Tashigis were played this turn, right? No, we left one around. Yeah.
Yeah, the big difference with this board state in comparison to the other game is that we don't have any Gecko Moria set up. That's huge, right? It's not we don't have a 9K body pressing us, and it looks like we're gonna Ama just the 1 away.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. I don't think we would have need another Great Eruption, or I would probably even Suru if I had it to get rid of it, but at the same time, we're doing a big
10K.
I probably would have been greedy and swung face. I don't know.
Wow.
Putting them down to 0 just puts them on such a clock, but
yeah, putting them down to 0 it gives him such a big clock. But I guess Fang not too confident with his hand size. Maybe he doesn't have that much counter.
Yeah.
He wants to get rid of that threat that's currently on the board, and getting rid of the 5-cost Kid just to recycle your Dawn is huge.
And it's tough to not play the Gecko on 9, because you do the 10 Dawn play is such better if you have the pieces for it, but yeah, we're going to be able to get rid of one of the Shigis, play 2 blockers here, which feel a little bit safer now that 2 copies of Ama have hit the board, but I mean, we're just Gecko, Moria, Hina, Hound Blaze, I don't know, there are just so many ways to get rid of those blockers before they can do anything.
And it looks like we might
we'll play the Moria soon. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Ghost Moria. Ghost Moria.
Yeah. Trust me, I have it, bro. All right.
Yeah. So getting out that Moria, playing out the Rebecca, playing out the Tashigi, and this is huge. Now that we're able to kind of see this upswing, is it too little too late, though? That's my only concern here, but it looks like we are going to go ahead and just remove them both with that Ama, the Sachi and Penguin, as well as one of the blockers, and then actually being able to pitch a card out of Thomas's hand to counter out of that is huge.
Yeah, so I It's getting a little dicey here.
Yeah.
We're playing 4 for maybe, Reiju. Okay, letting us draw 2, which is good, which also means that we've used Dawn, so we don't feel so bad for bottom decking the Rebecca.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like Thomas is trying to get a handle on this game, and it just starts to slip away every single turn.
Yeah, if they have like, it's really specific to get a removal of 2 bodies with 5 or 6 Dawn for Sakazuki, but if they're able to successfully do it, then it's immediately on their side, I feel.
Yeah, this is pretty big. I mean, Fang only has 2 cards in hand, so the counter power is probably pretty low. At max, it's 2/2Ks. And we can bottom deck this Rebecca for 3 Dawn plus, possibly play another Rusher. But with 1 life left, this is pretty scary.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we have maybe 5 cards in hand for Thomas here. It would not be unlikely for Fang to be able to get rid of the Shiraya next turn without it being able to even attack. And we just played the Reiju, so that can't even attack. I don't know. Let's see. So what can we actually do, right? That's like the next question. What can we do to help stabilize here? Because for 3, we haven't used leader effect. We can maybe do the Gordon raise max play to try to pressure down the Hina.
Oh my! Is that
that's 4 copies.
4 copies of raise.
All right. Okay. We're getting rid of the Moria. Oh, come on! Get rid of the Moria. Come on!
No shot. Yeah, that is having 3 bricked cards in your hand, and
no, for that play you just play 2 and get rid of the Moria. In my mind, 100%.
Yeah, 3. Okay, you guys are correct. This is 3 Gordons on the board right now.
Yeah.
And you were also correct. They're all swinging 5K next turn.
Yeah. And we have the Houndblades, because why would we not?
Yeah. And yeah, I guess this is GG's here most likely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think getting rid of the. I don't know. I definitely would have gotten rid of the Moria. Just spend 2 of them, right? Because it puts a Moria from 9K to 3K.
Yeah.
And then it's just a better remove, because those cards aren't doing anything anyways, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Really tough matchup for RP Law. It feels like, you know.
Yeah, and this was like, again, people are saying that this is the killer for the matchup, and it still could be true. And Fong was just doing well with this one, but it looked pretty dominant from our match as well. And with no blame to even Thomas, it just looked like it wasn't in his favor.
Yeah. Yeah, Thomas seeing a lot of really great success in the community with Red-Green Law, taking a crack at Red-Purple Law.
Yeah. So they just announced round 3 as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to take, I'm going to put like 4 minutes. 4 minutes, yeah. So should be a tiny break. We'll be right back. We'll get round 3 ready for you guys, and we'll see what's up. We'll maybe see how many undefeateds we have left.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do that too. So give us 4 minutes, and we'll be back with round number 3. All right, we are back, and we promised it wouldn't take too long, but we did find some undefeated players that either one of these would have been fantastic to be undefeated already. And we got two, I'd say, off meta decks, or maybe not like super meta decks. Maybe a better way to say it.
Yeah, I think one is a very much so more rogue than the other.
Yeah, and that would be Jackie on the Reiju, a leader that I would say has exited the meta in the entirety, which is a real shame because it's such a cool deck, such a fun deck.
Yeah. The deck idea and the whole mechanic is absolutely unique and a ton of fun. That's the best thing about Reiju, is that this deck is extremely fun. Now, what's really interesting about this matchup is that a lot of people have said that Yamato just kind of devours Reiju.
Sure.
Just because the deck doesn't run too many blockers. But something very important to note here is that Jackie did actually go when the deck was a lot more prominent. He went X1 at a regional.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So you got a top 16 finish with maybe top 8 even?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, which is very impressive. Obviously, this was the meta with Red Purple Law not super prevalent, right? Because that matchup is, in my experience, pretty tough. And Steven's already started with a gigantic 8K double on this second turn, and we are going to do 2K, 1K, 1K, which is rough.
Yeah, this is really huge. The only benefit here is that we do have our stage to kind of cycle, plus our leader ability to draw us an extra card whenever we do minus Dawn here. So
now, do you normally take the 8K double in matchups like this, or what's your whole thought process?
It's really difficult to say, just because I think Jackie really understands the fact that when he drops down to 2 life, all of Yamato's abilities then become active. We have cards like Amaru, the leader ability, giving some of our characters free to rest at dawn, is actually extremely beneficial in any matchup.
Yeah, my only issue is that whenever they do that, if their follow-up play is Onami and then another 8K double, but now this time banish, I feel like I lose if I don't have a blocker. So
yeah, definitely. I think if Steven were to drop an Onami right now, it definitely hits.
Yeah.
The only benefit, I think, with Reiju is that you kind of want some of those cards in trash.
Yeah, and you do get like benefits from it as well. We do see the 4-cost Reiju see, I think, more play than the actual deck itself, but the entire kind of gameplay with this deck is that we have these smaller copies of the cards. For example, this 2-cost Fin Smoke Reiju, and we're able to use the effect to go up into the 4 costs from either hand or trash, and since we lose a Dawn with this effect, we get an additional draw from our leader, which is quite good.
Yeah. So this 10K swing does actually connect here, and it looks like we have a trigger on the second card. Trying to think here, what triggers does Reiju have?
Yeah, Germa. Yeah, which, if we have time to actually play it next turn, it's better because it looks top 5 instead of just the draw 1.
Sure.
But I'd also kind of quickly say that we have a good amount of our pieces, and I don't know, being at 2 life already and Jackie not playing a lot of blockers, assumedly, just based on how this deck works, is a little scary.
Yeah, this kind of tells me that Jackie actually has possibly a 5-cost Queen blocker. Maybe deciding to just draw a card instead of actually playing the event card, dropping down to 4 active Dawn, could be huge.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got, okay, it looks like 5. Oh, 4 for the pudding.
Ooh.
Okay, that's also pretty nasty.
Yeah, you don't see that card too often anymore. I feel like a lot of Sakazuki players did end up dropping the card. It's definitely more of a tech choice, but still a very powerful card in some matchups, especially this one. Shuffling your whole hand back in your deck and then drawing 5 cards.
Yeah, I haven't done my deep dive into OP07 yet. That's going to be what next week's going to focus on. But I have a sneaking suspicion pudding is going to get only better with time. And if Enel really is going to be one of the stronger decks in this format, pudding does a really good job at least hurting them without having to like even give them cards, like punishing them from taking that early life.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, pudding, just the fact that it disrupts your opponent's plays, you know, they spend so much time thinking about them, just the disruption factor is huge.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like we're both at 2 life. We're able to whittle them down a little bit, and we'll see what the next play is. We have, what, 7 Dawn for Yamato?
Yeah. Yeah, we have a couple different plays here. I do know that Steven's build is very, very aggressive here. We have a ton of resters, like most decks do, and I feel like Yamato's starting to lean towards that, seeing a lot of cards like Punk Gibson, as well as maybe Sugars, but we are swinging 10K into life, and this is a lot of cards out of our hand here, and I think Jackie just might do it. It doesn't look like he has too many cards in hand, maybe like 6 cards in hand.
Yeah, another 10k is intimidating. And kind of the other thing too is that like our 4-drop Reiju really likes us to have a low hand size because we get the draw again. So it just means like it might shut down some of our plays if we do take this too.
Yeah. It's really interesting too because I know Jackie's thinking, what's the 2 Dawn for? You know, what do we really have that we can play if you're Yamato on 2 Dawn? It could be a Punk Gibson, it could be maybe more defensive cards like some decks run Thor, or
I'm gonna guess it's Shura. Shura is probably my guess. Let's just find, if we're on the package, let's find reject our 200 million volts. Finds Amaru. If we're playing Holy Ohm, it's another card, and just the fact that it's a body on board that we're able to potentially use our leader effect with next turn is good enough.
Yeah, this is one of the best things I love about Yamato right now is that the creative builds that I've been seeing lately is pretty amazing. I've seen some Wano builds where they run a couple of the Wano cards to play out the 5-cost blocker for free. Yeah,
with the new 4-drop Hiyori, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's such an integral card for that. So
very good.
I will say that Yamato is one of my favorite decks, just because one, I like Arlong and like the yellow-green synergy, but also you just don't really know. There's so many builds already, right?
Sure.
Like, and even like the 2 established builds, if like the Fortress build or the aggressive build, there's different variants inside those. Like there's a hybrid between them. Yellow and green just has like a really flexible card pool that I think Yamato can take advantage of.
Right.
All right, and we're still thinking about this 10k double, so we're gonna have to use 6k worth of counter, which if I had 3 2ks, I'd probably slam them down pretty quickly, but
yeah, I mean, we might just lose our whole hand here.
Yeah, and I mean, not for nothing. The next question is, man, can I get out of them putting 9 Dawn on their leader next turn?
Yeah.
Like, that's like the questions that Yamato make you ask, and we are...
I think the even more unfortunate part is not just that, is do they have Hody in hand?
Yeah, that's the big difference too. So, all right, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ooh.
All right, down to 2. Very expensive, but we do get to draw more cards, and I believe that is
a Hiyori.
Interesting. So that's going to let us put a card to the top of our life. We're just going to say that it's a what's it called?
It could be a Kiku.
A Kiku Nojo, probably. Yeah.
It could be quite a few things. I think if he's trying to be a little more defensive, it could be maybe a Onami.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a ton of different cards that have triggers in this deck, and depending on Steven's build, it can be pretty unique.
Yeah, Kiku Nojo is probably my guess for it, but because it could be Onami to get like some of the pressure off to good amount of cards.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like we are going to use that event card here to grab us the 5-cost character. 4-cost?
The Ichichi, I believe.
Ichichi, yes.
Yeah. So the 4-cost that goes into the 7k rush.
Yeah, I know that not many packages do run the blocker version of the Vinsmokes. Yonji.
Yeah, it's generally, in my opinion, it's one of the worst.
The weaker ones, yeah definitely.
Yeah.
But it looks like this 5k swing here, Steven thinking about whether he wants to counter or not, and he's actually going to go ahead and take it, and now we see the Kiku. Wow, the future sight here.
I mean, I messed up on the Shura read, so
yeah.
I have to get one right.
Yeah. Everyone gets one. And now I guess the fear is if Steven takes this 5k swing, Jackie could just technically add the rest of the Dawn to this pudding.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
It's not unlikely. I don't think that's the play if you happen to have the Niji. Being able to bounce the Kiku Nojo back to hand would be pretty nasty. But we'll see. Okay, never mind. We're just better. It's fine.
And we had no knowledge of this either.
No.
Neither did Steven here. There is no card here that he did play that looked at his last life that was able to put it to the bottom. So, and yeah.
Okay, yep. So we do have the Ichi. We're going to play the 3-cost. We're going to use the effect, bounce it back to be able to play that for the Dawn minus, be able to get a draw from our leader. and we could use the stage effect to cycle a card. We could also, attack 7k with pudding, but there's a chance that we give them another body, so it's a little risky. I almost think we just have to stop here.
Yeah, I think you're right. And Jackie only has 3 cards in hand. So at the same time, I definitely agree with you. I think we have to stop here. I don't think we have an option here. And it looks like Jackie's actually going to commit.
Oh,
possibly.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, what? If you have... Your leader effect's only once per turn, but if you have like another Ichiji or another Niji, you can get rid of those as well. So...
Yeah. Definitely. So we know for a fact that Jackie cannot play an Ichiji since it is a 4-cost character.
Oh, yeah.
He could play another Reiju.
Yes.
He could definitely do that with 2 active Dawn. He could swing 5k plus a... it looks like we are going to commit to a... Maybe.
Yeah, it's I feel for Jackie. I understand. There's so many... I'm like, this is the best play. And I it's probably bad, but I reason with myself is if they have it, they have it. And okay,
Wow.
That pause always makes me pause.
So we have 1 Dawn active. Now, Jackie, this could be bait, but this also could be a Blast Breath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that card's fine. I mean, we're going to be drawing 2 cards from our life, right? So there's a chance for that. I believe Steven has 9 Dawn, so we could do a 7k double and then a 10k Hody. To try to finish the game that way.
We could also go 7 Hody, Amaru, attach 1 Dawn to lead swing 9k into life, and then swing 10 into life, which would be pretty phenomenal here if Steven does have that play. So it looks like we're going to go ahead and... Is that 4 active Dawn? Yeah, 4. We separated 4 Dawn here. This is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunate matchup here. I would love to see both of these players proceed undefeated in round 4, but unfortunately that cannot be the case. And we're swinging at 9k into life.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take both. I mean, double Amaru, buff or Hiyori, we could make it.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to go down to be able to play our blocker Momo.
Yeah, this is really interesting. You put the Momo out, you add another life to you, you know you're getting a 2k counter. And with Steven having possibly 5 cards in hand, this could be pretty big. We know that Jackie does have an Ichiji in hand, so I'm assuming we have one in trash as well. I think that was pitched on rather early.
Mm-hmm.
What's really nice here is that Momo is a blocker.
Yeah.
So we did recover 1 plus add a blocker, and there's no way for Jackie to remove this 5-cost character.
Yes.
By an effect of some sort.
Yeah, because we don't run any cost reduction. They have, a good amount of cards in hand, too, so...
So this 5k swing, the Niji 5k swing was countered with a 2k counter. That's pretty big information there.
Mm-hmm.
So 5k swing, I feel like Steven might block this. Yeah. Yeah, blocking the 5k swing and 5k again. Interesting.
We must have a 4-drop or something, because now at this point, if we don't establish a blocker, just 10 on leader every turn, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 10 on leader. Or still Hody. We still have the Hody play too, even if we drop a blocker here. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and take this life. We could swing with that pudding if we really wanted to.
I mean, there's no way we don't have a 1k, right? What's the long game, right? What are we... what? If we put 8 on this?
That's true. That's true. That's a good point.
If we had a 1k in hand, I don't care how good my hand is. I would almost always... I would give the 1k, right?
Yeah.
But now I'm... is there nothing in hand? There's no way.
Yeah, Steven could definitely be baiting Jackie here. He could also swing 7k? 7k? 3 onto pudding, and then 4 with Ichiji. Play it from trash, swing 7.
I think just putting everything on the pudding's better, though, right?
It is, definitely.
I think it is. Because we can... Yeah, just stack them up. Just go for it.
Yeah, Jackie definitely taking a turn here. Big think turn. This definitely could be his last turn as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think Steven's trying to bait him to go for it here.
Mm-hmm. Just go for it.
Yeah.
I'd fall for the bait. Sure, you know what? If you have... I'm sure Jackie's just stunned.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they took... I went 5K, 5K, 6K, and they're down to 0 with their blocker gone? How is this happening?
Yeah.
How is this happening?
We see that, and we also... I mean, we do know that Steven did play... There's 2 zero-cost event cards in trash.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty big knowledge.
Yeah, we used one earlier, and one was off life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if we go 8 on 4, that's 12. So we need to get what 7K. So we know there's a 2K in Steven's hand, so he needs another 5K out of there. Just it's so much tougher when he's like 2 feet away, right? So I could just like walk over there, attach the Dawn for him, and be like, please do this.
Yeah, a part of me just wants to whisper in Jackie's ear and just be like, just go for it, man.
Yeah, just
do it. Just do it.
Yeah, you've made it this far.
Yeah. I think he's just thinking, what are the chances? How many 2Ks do you have in that hand?
Yeah, because again, I believe Steven has about 6 in hand.
Yeah.
We know that the Hiyori got added, so that's a 2K.
Yep.
And I think Steven was probably hoping that Jackie would swing bigger numbers, but I don't know, because we know that one of the cards is the Kikunojo, which has no counter.
That's true.
Already. Yeah, because there's... Come on. Sorry, I heard him like groan, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. At this point, there's no decision in my mind. It's, oh, please. Oh,
I
no.
think he's going 7-7.
No, not the 7-7.
Yes, he heard me.
It might even work, too. That's the... He won't learn.
Okay, so the Dawn's on the pudding.
Yeah, all right. So pudding's at least a 7K. All right.
The pot. Yeah.
All right, so no slow play here. All right, we made an action.
Yeah.
Oh. Come on.
Jackie, please.
Come on. Just, you got this. 6 cards in hand, you know 2 of them.
Look, I will die laughing if Steven just loses off the 7.
For sure, right? Because we know for a fact he has 2K in hand.
Sure.
But again, I don't care who you are. If you have the counter out of that 5K Reiju, do it.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Steven playing with Jackie's emotions.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
Cool. All right.
There you go. Does he have the counter for it?
All right, that's it,
It's
right?
a 2K. 0 cost.
Oh, we do have it. Dang.
We have it.
Oh, my
We
goodness.
always have it.
Oh, my goodness.
Passing the turn, and there is absolutely no way now that Jack can get out of a 15K swing plus a 6.
For the record, Jackie didn't lose. All of us lost. For the record, I'm not putting that Jack. I would have made the exact same play.
Not the armor for the assault on the
disrespect. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Steven takes round 3 over Reiju.
Yeah, man, they saw all copies of their. I'm the one who should disappear, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Man,
all copies of 0 cost.
I would have fallen for that every day. Like, I still would have made that play. Even just seeing it would have lost it. I would have made that play 100%, right?
Yeah.
There's no way. Like, just saying, okay, Yamato is such a bricky deck. There's so many cards. I know you have a Yamato in hand. I've seen 2 0-cost events. What are the odds? And 100%.
Funny enough, Jackie told me right before this round, Wizard, if I don't see or run into an RP lull, I win this whole case tournament. He just lost to a Yamato.
I mean, both can still be true. But yeah, it's wild. So this one was even with the big think a little bit quicker than I think the other ones. But how much time do you think we have left in round? That was round 3. We've been streaming for like an hour and a half. probably have 5-10
Yeah,
for next one. 5-10.
5 minutes. Yeah.
So for people just joining in, this is DNX Outpost case tournament. This is kind of just getting prepared for the regionals that is this weekend, which is going to be really exciting here in California. And yeah, we'll both be there, obviously. And we have, what, 5 or 6 rounds? We had 14 players going to this undefeated.
Yes. So we're going to have 7 undefeated.
7 undefeated. Okay, so it's going to depend on pretty much I think just round 5. Just see what that looks like. So we'll probably see what decks are undefeated as well, which 7 we have left. We have, obviously, 1 Yamato, which is interesting.
Yeah.
We saw last round a Sakazuki win, so there's a good chance that there's at least a Sakazuki still undefeated.
Yeah.
And everything else.
Yeah. There's probably a nice blend of Saka, Gecko, and Arpula.
Yeah, for sure.
In
for
the
sure.
top,
For sure.
for
Like,
sure.
Without not too surprising.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're going to take a break. I'm going to say a solid 7 minutes, so I can just hang out for, I don't know, 7 minutes, maybe less, probably less.
Probably less. It's always less.
Yeah, but we'll see what we have left. We should be playing. It's 50-50 on 6 rounds or not, and there's no top cut for this, but we'll see what we have left. So give us a couple minutes, and we'll be back with round number 4. All right, we are back. Sorry for the extended break. There was a game that went to time. It was pretty close.
Yeah.
There's a Sakazuki mirror that went right down to it, and but as all things, it had to end. And we do have 7 undefeateds left. Were you able to get approximately what's left?
Not just yet.
Okay, that's fine.
But it mainly is just RP Law, D1 Yamato, Sokka, and Gecko. Essentially is what it is.
Yeah, which isn't too surprising to me either. We did jump into the X1 tables to get this next match, so we'll go over there real quick. It is going to be Rhoda, who's going to be on the Moria, who we haven't seen all day, versus the Black Yellow Luffy, which did end up winning a European online event last weekend. It was OP06 meta, or at least Star Deck 13, since EBO1's not fully out there yet. But it's still a really interesting deck, and I always bring one deck every weekend, even if I'm doing production, and currently Black Yellow Luffy is the one that I bring.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and Black Yellow Luffy is a fantastic leader. Only gets stronger in OP07, but currently in the EBO1 format, it's still a really good deck. It did kind of fall off just a little bit with the release of EBO1, but we're going to go ahead and see if Mash Q can actually take this one against Gecko Moria, a matchup that is extremely unfavorable for Moria.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I definitely, like, we got new support cards, right? For sure.
Sure.
I think the biggest one for us is the Charlotte. Name is escaping me. I can see it in my Flampe. Thank you. Which lets us get down to lower life totals and get some card draw. But Red Purple Law, on the other hand, is such a hard matchup for us and is way more present right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we did see the 5-cost Luffy going into hand. I absolutely love that card in this deck. Being able to take your own life, as well as giving that character plus 2k on the end of your opponent's turn is actually incredible, especially when you don't even have any life. Just a free plus 2k is so good, right? So it looks like Rhoda is currently at 3, Dawn, and yeah, I mean, we can start actually doing Moria things now. The perfect turn 1 is probably a 6k swing along with Perona. Getting a card out of their hand would be really beneficial here.
Yeah. But it looks like we're going to start with, discarding the Hog. Finding 2 Absaloms. Are they worth it right now, though? That's the big question.
Yeah. I think we have to actually...
We don't have to use the effect, right?
Yeah, we don't have to use the effect, and they both go to the bottom of the deck. I absolutely forgot about that ability.
Yeah, that's a little rough.
Yeah.
Obviously, Perona is the better card here, but already off to like a little bit of a slow start, and what's generally an uphill battle for the deck.
Yeah, definitely an uphill battle. When you don't have enough cards in your trash, you can kind of see a couple issues with Moria here. And I think the reason why this is such a bad matchup for Moria is that Black Yellow Luffy wants to go down to 0 life as soon as possible, and Gecko's ability is by attacking.
Yeah, for sure. And we are giving them another target to attack into. I might have considered just going all the way in with the Luffy instead, just because it gives them a rough time to, if they want to put cards into their trash, it gives them a little bit of a harder cost for that, and it lets us attack into us. But when I play the deck more recently too, unless like it goes from 1 to 0, I try to just gain the value, and I think if you go down to 0 life too quickly with this deck, you run out of steam very quickly.
Yeah, so we do see the Sindri coming down, we see the Brook, a brand new card I feel like that most people are barely using here, especially in Moria.
All right, so a little bit of an alternative turn here. So we're going to be able to use it. We're going to use it to get the Brook, which will get rid of the Garp. So, hey, that's something neat.
Yeah, and actually I do think this is quite important, having that Brook alive, just because as long as the Brook is alive, you can actually remove a body on the board if you see the rest of your cost reducers, right? So
yeah, which compared to Sakazuki, Moria needs like a little bit more effort into there. With that Rebecca out, it's going to be pretty easy to have that Moria survive until the next turn too, which is nice, and just helps out with future cost reduction down the line.
Yeah. I did just realize Rhoda only has 2 cards in hand.
Yeah. So we weren't able to get like a couple cards out of hand for what we were doing, especially since we played a 2K to mill. But yeah, there's Rebecca to save the Brook. Do we have the Sabo?
Yeah, the Sabo would be really good here.
Yeah. And we are, I mean, maybe if we have like a 1-cost Flampe into Ace, we can pressure it.
Wait, hold on.
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
Eggman can't be right. There's no way.
No way.
I mean, I'm right next door, but I swear I can't see their hands. All right, surely there's no 5-cost. Okay,
Oh,
all right.
no way.
Oh, jeez. Okay,
Oh,
yeah, okay. See,
yeah.
Okay, I was only half right.
I mean, it's still a Sabo.
It's still a Sabo, yes.
Yeah.
Which is the bane of this matchup for the Moria.
Yeah.
But
And we actually pitched 2 aces off of that ability.
yeah, unless we just literally drew them off there, right? I think the better play was to pressure the Brook.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially if we use the Flampe. But maybe the Flampe we had, I don't know. We went down to 2. I would have done the more aggressive play.
I mean, here's the thing. As long as we can consistently grab a Sabo onto the board, all our characters have protection from KO.
Yeah.
So, really, what use is that Brook really doing in this matchup anyways?
That's fair. That's fair,
Right?
because it's a 4K, you have to invest some Dawn, even just to pressure leader, and that's when it's a 5K, let alone 7, 9K, like it tends to be. So I think it's fine, but I think it would have also meant that Moria would have had to spend some resources to attack into it, which would have maybe bought us some time.
Yeah, I think every Gecko Moria wishes their leader was blue and black.
Yes, yeah. I think, if Gecko Moria was blue and black with 4 life, I think it'd still probably be a buff, right?
Yeah. Yep, 100%. But it looks like we are swinging rather heavy here. 8K swing going into life. 2K above that Sabo, and yeah, he does end up taking it. No trigger.
I think that's fine. We're at 8 Dawn next turn, so we can do some pretty good plays with it.
And possibly seeing a 4-cost character. Maybe it's Perona?
Okay, 7, sure.
7K and
Discarding the Perona.
pitching the Perona, milling the top 2 here, and we are gonna get that Perona, forcing Mash Q to pitch a card.
Another ace, and but yeah, this deck loves to go down to 0. On the flip side, though, Moria does have all 5 life still intact.
Sure. Yeah, and this actually might be the counter play that we do need. Now, I am aware that Black Yellow Luffy obviously thrives at 0, but even more so when they're at 10 Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
They can play the Gecko Moria, and then they can play, of course, attach 2 Dawn to their leader to use its ability.
Yeah, but we're gonna do that right now. We're gonna be able to use the effect, discarding a Shirahoshi. We're gonna put an ace and.
Ooh.
Oh, did we mess up? We sure did.
Yeah.
We should have discarded the Sabo instead of the Shirahoshi.
Yeah, actually adding the Sabo from hand, which you can do off of that ability. Now, it's probably not recommended just because if we lose a card out of our hand, but we do see the kid character Ace come out.
Yep, and the Sabo. So paying 4, we're going to be able to get the Ace, and then we're going to pay another 2, get the Sabo, which will let us draw 2, trash 2. Our leader is going to be a 9K body, which is pretty intimidating with the 2 blockers up.
With full protection on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is pretty huge here for Mash Q.
Putting 2 more 5-drops, including the Sabo there. So generally, I would say that Black Yellow Luffy is dependent on finding the Gecko Morias, which being able to cycle the Sabo twice already means I would be fairly confident we have at least 1 in there, but looks like we're just going to start off with a 7-case attack with the Ace.
Yeah, and we don't have any blockers up, so kind of ignoring that 5K body, just kind of saying you can't get over this 9K leader.
Yeah, and I would do the same thing. At least I consider the only issue is that the Sabo will get, like, it doesn't matter if you have a 9K leader if you have these alternative bodies to attack into, which, Moria players are going to get some value from being able to do that.
Oh, but we do see the trigger here, the Great Eruption, forcing Mash Q to pitch a card, which is a 2K counter Viola.
Yeah, or it's a 2K blocker. I think it's a 1K, but yes, you're correct. And if we are predicting that we're going to get Sabo blocked every turn, Great Eruption getting this card I think is more impactful.
Yes. Yeah, we can't remove anything on the board as long as a fresh Sabo hits the board, of course. So obviously having that protection like we did mention before.
Yeah.
Now
and Viola is a new card from Expansion Booster as well, like the Flampe. It is definitely a consideration for this deck because it can flip life face down, which means you get around your leader effect, which is kind of nice. And it's a blocker too. So if you're able to play a Sabo, if you're able to play Viola, then Sabo, you do get some benefit and synergy from there because you get another blocker that can't be popped. But
Yeah.
it's what it is.
Yeah, this is a really interesting, board state. Just because most of the time I kind of don't want to swing into the characters, just because it just gives them the opportunity to play a Gecko, to be able to use Luffy's ability, put them back. But if we do have a Sabo in trash, I don't see the issue with it. But it looks like we are committing with the 8-cost Gecko Moria here.
Yeah, and we're going to play the Rebecca for sure. I can grab a 2K. I don't think we really need to get rid of anything else. We might just play the one Rebecca, to be honest.
Yeah, playing a Rebecca, maybe grabbing just a 2K like you did mention before. If we had a card like Brand New or some way to search at all, that would be pretty beneficial for us. But
And do we have a 2K? Okay, we do have another. Yeah, that's fine. Because if we didn't have one in hand or in trash, we could play over the other Perona out there already, which would be fine. But back to Mash Q.
yeah, I think if you're Rhoda here, you're kind of banking on the fact that maybe they don't have a Gecko Moria. Maybe they're unable to get back up to 9K if they don't have any of the kid characters in hand. But with the amount of cycle that this deck has because of that 5-cost Sabo, I mean, you most part, you see your pieces. As long as you see your Sabo, you see your pieces.
Yeah, agreed. So we have our full 10. Moria played a Moria last turn, which would be pretty sweet to play our own.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to use the effect. We're going to discard a 2-drop Luffy, and then we're going to put 2 cards back into our life, which again, we do have a Sabo that was a blocker last turn go in there. Yep, and
This is the rinse and repeat here.
yeah, that Moria is pretty nasty here. So we're going to do the play where we play 2 of our 2-drop boys here, which we're going to be able to play the ones from our life. We're going to have a 2-drop body of our own. We're going to be able to have a blocker as well. Cycle our hand to make sure we only have 2Ks, and then just do a big old 7, then 9K. Or sorry, 7 and then 11K.
Right. It is important to note that they did do the ace first and then the Sabo, so that the ace has protection. I think it's kind of big. But we are going to see a 7K swing with that 5-cost ace.
Yeah, so, we're doing the block first. Interesting.
Yeah, taking it and then just passing the turn. This is a massive board.
Yeah, this is pretty rough for Rhoda here. This is exactly what Mash Q wants to see, and exactly why this matchup can be really tough for our Moria player.
Yeah, definitely. I honestly, I'm not too sure if Rhoda has an out at all, honestly.
Yeah, because even if we set up blockers, I mean, there's just so many big bodies on board. You have to, even our Moria just gets countered out by a 1K, and if we put too much Dawn on it, Sabo just comes to the rescue.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if we... Wow, let's say we're swinging that board here. 9K into the 7K body.
Yeah, I think that's fine, to be honest. You are okay with that, losing it, because we have our own Moria next turn, and you have 0 cards left in life, and but we're gonna get a quick block there.
Yeah, I guess wanting to keep the counter in their hand as well as not lose a 7K body on the board. Yeah, imagine maybe we see here another Gecko Moria come down, but with so many bodies on the board, how do you defend such a board, right?
Yeah, I seldom think you can, and yeah, we're just going 7 into the ace once again. Sure, right? Like,
yeah, and the way the Dawn layout is looking, there's really no way to set up 2 blockers unless you're running Cerberus. But it looks like we are just going for board here, 7K into 7.
and then what? Maybe play one of our own Sabos.
Probably, right? Yeah. And it looks like we're going to counter out of this with a 2K and 7K into the 7.
Yeah.
He really wants that ace down.
Yeah, you're dang it. Not going to get there.
Yeah. Rhoda just scooping it there. Really no out at all in that particular board state.
Yeah, so we do have maybe 10K worth of counter for Moria, but like gets pretty quickly whittled away, even without any Dawn investment. So Masque going into round number 5, going, what, 3-1?
Going 4-1. Oh, no, 3-1.
Yeah, 4-1 into, or 3-1 into round 5.
Right,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
Correct. How much time do we have left? We probably have a good amount, huh?
I think so.
Do you have a deck that you want to play, that you have on you? Or someone borrowing it today?
I do think I have a deck.
Yeah, how about, I do not want to see Moria and Black Yellow Luffy again.
Sure.
If you want to ask either of these players to do a fun match, maybe the Moria,
Sure.
that might be better than doing that. So if you're able to do that, let me know. I'll see where you're sitting, but we'll see if we can get another match on the in-between. Yeah, definitely a difficult matchup for Moria, though. And I would expect Black Yellow Luffy to win that more times than not, for sure. So I think Sos has Red Purple Law on him. If we were talking, I think he also has Star Deck 11 Uta, which might be a fun match in between too. We'll see who's playing against and what's he playing as, I suppose. All right. Do nothing to maybe. I think some decks are more of the do nothing till you win. So but I get it. I get it. Sometimes like you just feel like you don't have anything to do. They definitely have to play like a little bit of solitaire, right? Wait, which one are you gonna play on the right side?
What's up?
The close side or the far side?
I'm gonna play right here.
The close side? Okay,
Yeah, close
okay, close side. Cool. And you're playing yeah, and what are you
I'm playing Uta.
Uta? Okay, cool. I'll get that fixed. Alright, so we have Strongest Wizard. And he's going to be playing the Uta versus the Moria, which I don't see this matchup a lot. I think this one could be pretty easy because Moria has a little bit of a trickier time answering the Usus kid if they're set up. But this will be for fun match. In between. There it is. Close enough. All right. We watched next one because the matchup was just better. They're like more unique, to be honest. So yeah, I think mostly the other ones were mirrors, but we'll next round definitely watch the undefeateds. So that is the idea. But who do you think wins Moria versus Uta? I think it's about 50-50, right? All right. One second, chat. All right. 55-45 Moria's favor. But still have cards in hand. That's true. I just feel like, I mean, what? They have to have Ice Age. If they don't have Ice Age, then I guess Hina. Hina can also... Hina, Great Eruption, get rid of 8-Drop Kid? I don't know. I think 8-Drop Kid is the pivotal point. If you're able to set it up as Uta and get it to stay around, you win. If Moria is able to find the answer to it, they win. Ooh, we're going the quick 5 with the Sindri. All right, 5K, and then we got the Genesis Man. So it's got to have the alt arts. Got to have the alt arts. Yeah, Kid into Luffy for sure. For sure. And we played Brook into the Usopp again. Moria is really good at returning or getting rid of one card a turn. Getting those two is a little bit trickier. All right, we got 5 Dawn to work with. If we have like a Helmeppo, we could use it to get rid of the Brook and play an Absalom. But no, just 2 5s once again. All right, 1K out. All right, we're going to take the 7K swing. And yeah, a bit of a slow start for Rhoda. Not really finding the pieces. Only like if you had, even if you had Brook, right? It's tough. All right. Take the 5s, going down to 4. Also attacking with the Usopp first, just in case there is an Ice Age in the life. We're going to Rebecca out there, and then a big 7 with leader, being able to look top 1. It's a Mihawk, one of the few misses for the deck. And then probably a Nami. Oh, just another Brook into an Uta for 4. Okay, so again, a pretty wide board, and with Rhoda also not being able to establish anything on board itself, like this is pretty tough. Pretty tough. All right, for 3, probably, yeah, Hina, very nice. And then being able to get rid of the Brook there. Okay, and, oh, just the Lucci, interesting. So no playing the Absalom, which is fine. Only getting the removal of 1 is kind of stinky. And then what? Probably into the 5 cost or the 4 cost Brook because it's a little bit taller. All right, and there is the 2K out and passing back. Yeah, I mean, being able to play Hina Rob Lucci like that is the same as playing Absalom. It's like a little bit better. I guess you would have been able to put more pressure with leader, but yeah, we're going to go 7 with that. We're going to look at top card. It is a Chopper. They're going down to 1. Man, did we just put them down to 0? Did we just put 4 on Brook and call it a day? How's this TCG doing? Most events are capped out and sold out within minutes. Some would argue it's the weakest thing about this game is that they can't enter tournaments. All right. Yeah, Moria's having a rough go. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. It is pretty uphill here. Great Eruption. And okay, we have Moria, sure. I mean, we're going to be able to play probably Rebecca, get some 2Ks in hand, but still. Yeah, we'll see what's undefeated after this. We should have 3 undefeateds going into this next round. So we got a 2K. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. We can't add brand new. Yeah. Okay. Thought that was alright in hand. Yeah, you can't add brand new because it's 3 or higher you get to add. Sorry, I looked away. I was looking at chat. I thought that was from hand. Yeah, if we have a what's it called? Backlight, I think we just win here. Yeah, there's the backlight. All right, 5. Oh boy. All right, we're just doing the big number. Yeah, Sos takes it. Oh man, there's a if Sos didn't win this turn, there's a good chance he lost on the back, right? Yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, nothing in life too. That is rough. That could have gone real bad real quickly. Yeah, for sure. All right, round 5 pairings actually just got launched, so we're gonna take like 3 minutes. I'm gonna say 3 minutes. It's gonna be very short, but next round's gonna be we're gonna see what the 3 undefeateds are, and go from there. I'm gonna say 3. So give us a couple minutes, and we will be right back. All right, we're just skipping right to it. This is going to be our final round, no matter what, since it is getting late here on the West Coast, which means it's getting really late on the other coast here in North America. We're going to double Gordon and pass back to Steven.
Yeah, I actually don't mind this play just because there's really no way for Yamato to kind of remove these characters. I mean, we could rest it and then go at it, but with this, we're just going full aggro here.
Yeah. So going down to 4 already, like part of the reason Yamato gets to succeed, I feel, is that 4 life leaders are so much better for Yamato compared to 5 life leaders, right?
Right.
And we do have, 3 undefeateds left. We have
Yes.
Red Purple Law, Yamato,
As well as Gecko Moria.
and Gecko Moria on the down pair. This is going to be the last round, though. So are they, if the down pair wins, are they just going to do a finals for first place?
No, they just
You're going to split
this
the
is
board
it.
Saturday, Sunday for one, and then
Yeah, no, this would definitely be it. And looks like we see the Ein here, a little bit of Dawn acceleration. On paper, how do you think this matchup goes?
I haven't done it a lot. I can see that Red Purple Law has a lot more blockers than I think the average deck that helps it a lot.
Sure.
I think there's some scenarios where if Yamato's not careful, you get punished by a 4-cost blocker Law as well, which not only is a blocker but rips 2 cards out of hand. So I think the edge is on Red Purple Law, but if you just find your cards,
Your resters.
Yeah, we're at 0 life already. So what do I know? What do I know?
Guys, how fast is this match gone?
I don't know, man. We could just be done, right? Like,
Yeah, this could literally be it. And that's the thing with RP Law is that they do run a lot of dead cards in our hand, right?
Yeah.
A lot of cards with no counter. And with Yamato seeing so many resters, I think what Kim really needs to see right now is a 5-cost character, a blocker. Because then, Steven, the only way you can really rest it is, unless you're running the Straw Sword, it's either probably Hody.
all right. Yeah, and if I was Kim, like, I'd take a second to, like, all right, where am I? What's going on? Like, what's the play? Making sure for Sugar as well. We're going to start off with an Ein as well. All right, we're going to, Onami out, which is good to see.
Not really too useful at this point.
Yeah.
And I guess the good thing here with RP Law is that every single character that most likely Steven's going to play is going to get bottom decked.
Yes, yeah. So, like, if we don't have another target, Sugar gets bottom decked for free, which normally, like, a 0 power card is not too scary, but when you're at 0 life and your leader gives it 2 Dawn for free, it does become a little scary, right?
Yeah. And it looks like we might actually see the Bon Clay possibly. If we have another Shirai, I think we really need to play it here. But
It's a Kitten Killer.
it's
Okay.
a Kitten Killer. And Steven is at 2 life already, so that is a 7k rusher now swinging into life.
Yeah, so, I mean, is it our turn to go down to 0 life? It might be.
Yes, here. Now, passing the turn here, Steven has 1 life, and I mean, we are at 6 Dawn, I believe. Yep, 6 active Dawn here. So, I mean, do we have another rester, or we just go ahead and swinging? But the question is, would we have the counter for the clapback?
Yeah. Well, quick 5.
Yeah, this gets us a card out of our hand, and I think this can get kind of scary now.
Okay.
Hiyori, and I think we might see the play earlier, adding 1 to our life and then playing the Momo to put it back on the top. And the fact that Momo is a 6k body doesn't really matter too much because we have 2 Gordons on the board.
Yeah, it does mean that there are some, like, potential for, like, some weird numbers. It also means that if we do have Kiko Nojo at the top of our life, it's more easily... It's going to be difficult for a lot to remove both the blocker and the Kiko Nojo. So.
Right. Yeah, and I definitely think at this point, Kim might be thinking, I have to go for game soon.
Yes.
I have to go for game soon as soon as we have Hody on the board next turn. That's an easy 10k swing.
What I mean, both players are thinking it, and it's turn 4, right? Like,
Yeah.
What a crazy, like, thought. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
this is my 4th turn. I need to go for game now, or I am in trouble.
Yeah, and what's really interesting here is that if, let's just say, this Yamato does win this round and the down pair loses, Black Yellow Luffy knocking out Gecko out, Yamato would win a 55-player case tournament right before LA Regionals. You got to be feeling good if that happens.
Yeah. And, I mean, you're already up for the weekend, right? So after that, it's smooth sailing.
Yeah. So it looks like we're going to see a second, 5K swing here. Now, looks like we're going to take it here. And yes, we have the
There's Kiko Nojo. Oh,
How did you know?
Hiyori and Kiko Nojo are best friends. I don't even watch the show, all right? But I know it's canon. It has to be canon, right?
Sure.
Very canon.
So yeah, it looks like we're going to hit the Momo here. Tapping, it looks like 3.
Another Shiraya. Oh, Zoro. Okay.
Zoro.
All right, confirming that we feel necessary to go for game. Oh, and playing another Kitten Killer. Okay, this is dangerous.
So we're seeing 5, 5, 7, 7.
Correct.
Can we get out of this? That's a 1K counter. See a 7K swing. That's a lot. Now there's no way to ramp Dawn. Kim's at 0 Dawn right now.
Yeah, I think we take it.
We take a 2K in hand.
Yeah, 2K.
No, 1K.
1K.
And this is just a 5K block here.
I mean, Shirai has to go for it, right? And we have the 1K, we sure do. It's a 2K, but that's fine. I mean, maybe.
This looks like game.
Looks like game, right?
This looks like game. 5K swing going into life. Are we going to see... Yes, a very big swing here.
Yeah, that's a 15.
Yeah, and Steven takes this game here.
All right. Do you want to tell Steven he's won, but to do a best of 3 just for us, if he wants to? Steven's won. He's undefeated. He has a 50-50 chance on that skate deck now. But they know Steven knows he's won, right? For the tournament itself. Okay, just making sure. I don't want to be bullied into.
Well, let me look into the Gecko real quick.
Yeah, go with that. Yeah. All right. We're gonna go to game 2. We're gonna do 2 out of 3, just for y'all. Just I didn't want it to be ended that quickly. Steven is undefeated for this round, so he's either first place or tied first place, depending on the Gecko match. Sosa's gonna check that out real quick too. Not that I would expect that to be near over yet. What's their opponent?
The Gecko?
Yeah.
It's Black Yellow Luffy.
Oh no. It's a table. So is it Mash Q?
Yes, it is.
All right. So table 2 is a repeat of last round that we saw. So it's Mash Q on Black Yellow Luffy versus Gecko. So if Gecko wins, they're tied for first place. If Gecko loses, Steven's our undenied winner.
Yeah, and I did take a look at the board state over there in that game, and it looks like Mash Q did have the advantage. She had 2 5-cost blocker sabos and 1 life.
Yeah, that seems uphill already.
Yeah.
So
with like 10 in hand. So.
Yeah, that is rough.
Yeah, so the chances of them one of those cards being Gecko Moria in a Senate is pretty high. So
yeah,
I mean you never know, but we'll see.
Yeah, but we're going to go into this game, too. Looks like Steven's happy with their opening hand, and Kim is less so, trying again at it. I would say, compared to a lot of other decks, the mulligan is more important for Law in a lot of cases. I think a lot of decks just have more consistency for it and see multiple pieces, but Law, the first 5 cards really dictate the game.
Yeah, and the really unfortunate thing about RP Law right now is that in this kind of matchup, how many 2Ks are we actually running?
Yeah.
Most winning lists are running at most maybe
8?
8?
Yeah. I mean, we are kind of in the spot where there are a lot of 2Ks that are functional on the board too, which is kind of nice. But we see usually Otamas, maybe like some Hitoris, our Hitokori, I forgot the 4-drop. Kamazo, yes. Yeah. And he has another name, but it's mild spoilers that I need to not drop.
Now, I think Kim going first here is actually really huge. If he has a Shirai, which he does not, he could have saved himself from a 9K swing with Yamato, which I am 99% positive we're going to see here.
Yeah.
All right, Steven, let's go.
Unless we have Onami, right? No, I think just 9.
Yeah,
Big 9.
Yeah, 9 takes sense. It here. See it dropping down to 2 life already, and 2 life with RP Law is brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is what I mean. Like Yamato is such a big bully for these 4 life leaders, because with your 5 life leaders, okay, fine. At least I, go from 5 to 3 to 1, and that last one's actually pretty tough to actually hit down most of the times. But in comparison, we have like the best combo, don't we?
Yes. Hopefully we do activate Kid's ability here since we did minus Dawn. We are going to set one as active. Hopefully Kim does remember that. But pitching 2 cards, that's a 5-cost Ace as well as the 5-cost Momonosuke.
Yeah.
And now we're swinging 6k into life. Now, didn't get a single counter out of hand, but we see the Kiku coming on to play. And we can't even use our ability anymore because we have no active Dawn.
Yes, that is correct. So, that's pretty good. Getting the Kiku Nojo out, it tends to be the top or second to the top life in Yamato a lot of the time. It just feels so frustrating. You're like, oh, fine, I'll go down to 3, whatever. First hit in life, like,
right.
Oh man, just immediately punished.
Right, and this is really big too, because even if next turn Kim does play a Gordon or a Raise Max, he has to then only go down to 3 active Dawn. That's huge.
Yeah, because we're at 4 Dawn right now, 2 Dawn right now. We're going to go to 4, and like the Useless Kid does help, but it's still tough.
Oh, a little bit of spice here, playing the
Mihawk, right?
The Mihawk to play the Kikunojo and then swinging 8k into life. It does connect, and we're going to pass this turn, and I really like this because he can only bottom deck 1.
Yes.
He could only bottom deck 1, and that just means that one of them is going to survive, and if it doesn't, he's going to recover a life.
Yeah, and something that Yamato usually has issue with in a lot of other matchups, specifically like Moria and Sakazuki, is that you need a card on board to use your leader effect, and if your opponent just continues to remove it, you're in a bad spot. But looks like we're just going to, for 4, play out the Bon Clay as is, and then we're going to use for 1 probably a Gordon or Raise Max. Seems to be the case.
Yep. We're going to go ahead and most likely bottom deck one of those. Yep, going straight to the bottom and then playing a Reiju to draw ourselves 2 cards with only 4 in hand. So, moving up to 6, we gain a Dawn active off of that Kid ability, of course. And, I mean, honestly, if this Bon Clay does survive, which it will, this is pretty nice. If we end up throwing down a Hody and we survive, then we'll get a lot of value off of that Bon Clay.
Yeah, I think this is a completely different match, right?
Yeah.
Like, just completely different. And, I thought it was Hody. just the way we picked it. I'm like, all right, it's time.
Hody, it's time.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a Hody play wouldn't be too bad. We're swinging 5, 8, 8.
5, 8, 8. Yeah. Actually, we went second, so it could be 5, 5, 8, 8 even. Or 5, 8, 9.
5, 6, 6, 8.
We're just saying numbers.
So many. Yeah.
All right, we're going our first 5 here.
Yeah. Pitching the Bon Clay, and now with 7 active Dawn.
Yeah, so this was a best of 1, but it ended pretty quickly, so we asked our players if they wanted to just continue the best of 3, just for y'all. So Steven is our winner for the night, but Kim's a good sport, and he's letting us play out the best of 3.
Yeah, he's trying to solve this matchup as well. So
yeah, right, we got big regionals this weekend, right? We want more experience. This is mildly high stakes. We're going to take them.
Yeah, so this 8k swing does connect, dropping down to 0. And now we have this Bon Clay, which is a 6k body at the moment. And then we have the 5k Reiju, and then, of course, the Kid.
Yeah, I'd be personally very tempted to get the block on the Kid, just to be able to just stay at 1 life. It makes it a little bit trickier for them to go for game, because it means that they have to have 2 attacks stick, but because Hody for sure just wins next turn.
Yeah, and actually going for the Mihawk here, leaving the Kiku up. Obviously, we want to bottom deck it so that gets no value there. But I am terrified of the Hody coming down next turn. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see the 5-cost Kid coming down. Now that just solidifies the placement of Kikunojo being on the board. There's no way for us to ramp any Dawn now.
Yeah.
I mean, we could swing 7 at it if we wanted to, if we had a Killer and Kid. Or 9, actually. But I mean, we're kind of banking on here that he doesn't have a Hody.
Yeah, for real, right? Like Izo and Sugar don't get rid of these 5-cost blockers, right? So that's fine. We're playing a Reiju. Okay, sure. That does help too.
Yeah, hopefully.
Wait, do we have 6 cards in hand?
It looks like 5.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It looked like 6 for a second. Yeah. Sure, we get the extra Dawn. So if we have Rad Beam, we're just better players, right? Oh, we get 2 Dawn back.
Yeah, we get 2 Dawn. Yeah.
Double
kids,
Rad Beam.
Double. Yeah, I think early on in the meta we did see a lot of people running Radical Beam, but I think now in this late game, this late of the meta, no one's running it. It's pretty rare.
It's pretty rare.
It's pretty rare.
I think the deck that got second in Peoria got. I think they were playing Rad Beam, but I can't recall off. Okay, yeah, there's the.
This is nasty. This is a 7-7-10 swing here.
Yes, 7-7-10. No, we're just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
A couple 2Ks.
All right, 4K.
Yes.
8K. 11K. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
1K. Does it do it?
Yeah.
Sure don't. All right. They're fast games, but they are conclusive. Steven's our winner for the night.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I took a look at that Gecko match. It wasn't doing too hot. It's definitely possible, but unlikely.
I would stake my. Actually, I don't know the player that well. I don't know. Hold back. I'd be pretty confident that Steven's going to be our winner for the entirety of the night. As well.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
Yep. But that's going to be it for us. I do want to say thank you so much to DNX Outpost for letting us do this and for hosting the event in general. I know a lot of players are really appreciative for the last-minute regional test event as well.
Yeah.
And then also for you giving up that valuable testing to be next to me and stink up this room with me.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice, apparently. No, yeah, definitely a pleasure as always. And honestly, I just love seeing good One Piece matches.
Yeah.
And here at DXN, we had a good variety as well. So that's pretty awesome to see.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for this weekend.
Yeah, I am as well. And I appreciate DXN. It's going to be, if not local, considerably more local for me in the next couple of weeks. So if we can keep this going or events like this, I'd be definitely down. So I appreciate the opportunity. And yes, we'll both be at regionals. You're going to be playing. I'm going to be behind the camera once again.
Yeah.
But it should be great. It's the end of OP06. But even today, like we had Yamato win, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, there's a lot of good players in that other room right now.
Yes, there is. There is a lot of good players.
So it's we'll see what ends up winning. I mean, Newgate won last week too.
Yeah.
Right? So it's up in the air, I suppose.
Look, anything is possible with the One Piece card game. That's what I just honestly really do love. Yeah, we do have already a shaped meta, but we can definitely break the mold. So
yeah,
like Yamato winning a 55-person case tournament.
Yeah, with mildly high stakes, right?
Yes.
So like. The skate deck, right? That's boxes, cards, whatever. Skate deck.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not even joking with that. That's an amazing prize. Obviously, just skewed. When there's also cards for guard game players, right? But that's going to be it for us. We really do appreciate it. Make sure to be on the lookout for other events and other coverages in the next couple weeks. And I'll see you guys this weekend. If you're traveling this weekend, safe travels. And it should be a good one. So thank you guys very much. If you want to see the full VOD, it'll be on YouTube. It'll be free to watch too, so you can watch that there. And we'll see you this weekend. Bye-bye.
See ya.